Just as the world began to lose its edges, there came a soft knock at the edge of sleep. It wasn't the kind of knock that belonged to walls or doors. It came from somewhere deeper, behind your thoughts, beneath your name, just before dreams fully took hold. It was a knock that didn't echo, yet it somehow filled the entire silence. You were drifting, suspended in that soft space between awareness and rest, when it happened. Knock. Your body didn't move, but something inside you stirred. The room felt unchanged, the same quiet darkness, the same slow hum of the night, but the air grew heavier, as if it were listening too. You told yourself it was nothing. A misfiring thought. A dream assembling itself a little too early. Then came the second knock. Softer than the first. Almost hesitant. It carried a strange familiarity, like a half-remembered melody. Your breathing slowed, not from fear, but from a sudden, certain feeling that waking up fully would be a mistake. Someone is here, whispered a thought that didn't sound like your own. You lay perfectly still, your eyelids heavy, resisting the urge to open your eyes. The knock did not repeat. Instead, the silence stretched, long and deliberate, until it felt louder than any sound. Then a voice spoke, close enough to be inside you. I was hoping you'd hear me. The words were calm, gentle, but unmistakably real. You should have been afraid. But fear never arrived. What you felt instead was curiosity wrapped in caution, like standing at the top of a dark staircase, sensing it goes somewhere important. Don't wake, the voice said softly. And don't fall asleep. Not yet. The room tilted. Not physically, but in the way a thought can tilt when it changes everything. Behind your closed eyes, the darkness rippled. Shapes began to form slowly, as if drawn by an unsteady hand. A narrow hallway appeared, stretching endlessly forward, lit by lamps that flickered like tired stars. The walls breathed faintly, exhaling old dreams and unfinished stories. You realized then that the knock hadn't been at your door. It had been at the boundary. I guard this place, the voice continued. The thin line where thoughts forget their weight. A figure emerged at the far end of the hallway. It didn't walk closer. It just waited. Patient. Respectful. What do you want? You thought, though your lips never moved. To remind you, the figure replied, its voice clear in your mind, that sleep is not as empty as you've been taught. The lamps flickered hard now. Shadows slid across the walls, stretching into shapes that almost made sense, faces you nearly recognized, places you almost remembered visiting. You see them, don't you? The figure asked. And you did. Unfinished dreams hovered nearby. A life you might have lived. Words you never said. A door you once promised yourself you'd open someday. Your chest tightened with an unspoken ache. I don't bring these to hurt you, the voice said quickly, sensing the shift. I bring them because this is where they wait. Another knock echoed, this time from far behind you. Louder. More urgent. The hallway shuddered. That's waking, the figure whispered. It's always so impatient. The lamps dimmed. The walls began to dissolve, dripping into starlight. The figure finally moved closer, though its face remained indistinct, blurred like a reflection in dark water. You have a choice, it said. You always do, but you rarely notice. The air grew thick with anticipation. You felt suspended, balanced between two falling directions. What happens if I answer the knock? You asked silently. The figure tilted its head. You forget, it said gently. And that's not a bad thing. And if I don't? A pause. Then you remember just enough to feel the weight of it tomorrow. The distant knocking grew louder. Faster. The figure stepped back, retreating into the thinning darkness. Rest, it said, its voice fading. I'll knock again another night. I always do. The hallway collapsed inward, folding like a closing book. The lamps winked out one by one. The shadows softened, losing their shape, losing their urgency. The final knock never came. Instead, sleep wrapped around you fully, warm, deep, and quiet, carrying away the hallway, the figure, and the voice. But somewhere, just beyond your dreams, something waited patiently. Listening. Ready to knock again. At the edge of sleep. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more journeys into the quiet places.